With all the uncertainty happening in the crypto space, everyone wants to know, what is Bitcoin doing next? Now, everybody knows Bitcoin likes to do the opposite of the herd, the high majority of people. Bitcoin likes to take people by surprise, but it leaves clues along the way. One of the most trusted charts in the crypto community is right here in front of us, the Pi Cycle Top Indicator. However, there are some problems happening right before our eyes, and we're trying to sweep them under the rug as if nothing is going on. But today, we're going to give the latest and greatest happening right now with the Pi Cycle Top Indicator. For example, take a look. With our red line right here, we're starting to see a pretty high level of curvature or divergence, meaning the red line is going away from the green line. Something that very rarely ever happens in the bull run. The last time it happened was right here in 2018, 2019, right before we saw the COVID crash. Now, there are some clues in the charts, and we're going to uncover them right here in this video. Is it possible Bitcoin is gearing up for another COVID crash type scenario, or is there a way out of it? In today's video, we're digging into the facts. Let's get it. Hi, I'm Steve. I quit my job over 13 years ago, been traveling the world since, thanks to my trading and investing skills. Join me for sponsorship-free TA with genuine value that actually works. Subscribe. Here we are on the Bitcoin US dollar index, and today we're on the monthly chart. On the monthly chart, the Pi Cycle Top Indicator doesn't change. It's just the candlesticks. You can put this chart on the daily, on the weekly, on the 2-week, the 3-week, the monthly. Nothing changes in terms of when we see the cross. Now, if you're familiar with the Pi Cycle Top Indicator, you already know how this thing is developed. Basically, there's a green line and there's a red line. And we're really looking at the red line. The red line is the fast line, meaning it moves a lot faster and a lot more volatile than the green line. And essentially, we're looking for when this red line, in the midst of a bull, starts rallying up and all of the candles start holding as support. And we rally higher and higher and higher until the red line crosses the green. That typically marks the top. Now, that's on the previous cycle. When you look at the cycle even before then, it's very easy to see. In a bear market, we typically hold this red moving average as resistance. And in the bull run, we typically hold this red moving average as support. And we essentially ride this moving average up higher and higher and higher. And as that happens, it pulls the moving average up. And as soon as the moving average, the red one, crosses through the green, it marks the top. The problem with this is right now, and for the past several months, we've had trouble with this red line. Something that very rarely ever happens in the entire bull run. We've got to go really study what's happening in 2018, 2019 to get a better understanding. But to really paint a clear picture, let's go back to the early days and see what we can uncover. Back in the glory days when Bitcoin was at a mere $5, we were coming out of the bear room, right? You can see the market top here in 2011 and the subsequent bear market having every candle hold as resistance to this red moving average. Then we enter the bull run, we start holding this red moving average as support, and the rest is history. We dragged ourselves up until we had this cross, we came back down, and we had another cross here. So the crosses essentially mark this market cycle top before we see a heavy correction. Back here in 2013, we saw something like an 80% correction from here, and then we regained our positioning. We had the hold support again, and then we had a cross again for that true second top. Then you can see the subsequent bear market, right? Having a couple candles come back above and hold this red line as support. But the writing was on the wall. We already had several months beforehand. Keep in mind, we're on the monthly chart. Tilt your phone to the side and subscribe. So once we had this fall back through, we had what's called a failed rally. It failed to take out the prior swing high, and the failed rally often rolls over and goes even lower, which is precisely what it did, having every single candle hold as resistance until the bear market was over, we started holding every candle as support, and the bull market was in full force. And again, once this price started rising higher and higher and higher, holding each candle as support, we had this drag of the red line through the green, marking the market cycle top. And then we were in the cycle that we really need to hone in on. This was the 2017 top. You can see what followed. It only took a couple candles and we were already holding resistance as of February 2018. In February 2018, there was still so much bullishness in the market and nobody wanted to believe that 20K top was the actual top. However, we can look at the chart that's right in front of us and we right away see we were holding resistance at the red line of the pi cycle top indicator, leaving a huge clue as to what is about to happen. You can see right away, even though we dropped down all the way to 5,000, we rallied back up to 10,000, and this was the candle that got everybody out of their seats. Everybody was chanting, see, that 20K top, that wasn't the top. We're about to go to 50, 60, even 100. They were screaming 100K back in 2017. They were convinced of it. They thought that this was a pullback. They said buy the dip. But again, Bitcoin leaves clues, and Bitcoin likes to go against the high majority of folks. At that time, the high majority of folks were saying, buy the dip, this is going to the moon. And by the way, buying the dip, if you're in Bitcoin for the next 10 years, you should buy the dip every time. But these are the folks that are trying to time the weekly, the daily moves of Bitcoin. But again, if you're in Bitcoin long term, there's nothing like it on planet Earth. This historically has been the best investment of the past 14 years, and nothing is even close to it. That's just a bona fide fact. So if you're not trading in the day-to-day or the week-to-week or the month-to-month, and you're just going to buy and hold for 10 years, you should buy every dip from now until you die. That's just a fact. This is literally the best investment on planet Earth. By the way, for the past 250-ish days, we've had the same exact storyline in Bitcoin. We've had the 2-month gravestone doji candle print, and the only thing that can save the day for Bitcoin is the weekly stochastic RSI paired with the 2-week stochastic RSI. Let that move breathe. That could need several more months to play out. In the meantime, there's another thing that we've talked about the past handful of months. What Bitcoin must do. It has to take out the swing high of July, and it's got to get several candles confirming above the $72,000 range, holding as support. If it doesn't, we run the risk of rolling over and going even lower. Those are the facts in the charts. Stay true to the facts in the charts. Stay level-headed. Don't make any emotional decisions. And the rest is history. You can see what followed. Well, we started leaving some clues. We started in 2018 holding that red line as resistance, not with 1 month, not with 2, not with 3, not with 4, with multiple months in a row holding as resistance and having some candles kind of bounce in between, showing some warning signs that this was a true bear market. And by the way, we had this huge crash here. In October 2018, people believed the bottom was in. It was the same group of people that predicted we were about to go to 100K. And at the same time, Bitcoin had a 3-day death cross, something that happens every single cycle right before the worst part of the crash, the main part of the crash. So I sat right here in this chair. I said, pump the brakes. The bottom is not likely to be in. In fact, we're about to have a pretty large crash according to the facts in the charts. So again, Bitcoin leaves clues, and those clues often go against the high majority, and the high majority hate to hear things that go against the high majority. which is why some people come to my channel and they're like, oh my God, why when we're going up in a bull run, Steve warns us of stuff? And why when we're crashing in a bear market, Steve tells us it's a great time to get in, that it's the perfect opportunity and we're about to head up? I always go against the herd, which is what really attracted me to the Bitcoin market. This is kind of a middle finger to the system, which I pretty much, I'm all for, right? So I'm all about going against the herd. It's ingrained in me, and I want to instill that in you. But again, Bitcoin leaves clues that go against the herd. And we've got to talk about what's happening right now, because Bitcoin is right now leaving clues that also go against the herd. Here is where it gets very, very interesting, because in 2018, 2019, we were holding resistance at this red line for the entire time, and then we started holding support. And then we started pumping out these huge green candles that rallied all the way up to this green line. Keep in mind, the pi cycle top indicator just has two moving averages, the red one and the green one. The green one we don't play with very often unless we're near an all-time high. And the red one we play with very, very simply. In a bear market, we hold it as resistance. In a bull market, we hold it as support. It's a pretty simple game. Tilt your phone to the side and subscribe. Here's where things got interesting. Back in this early days of 2019, we were showing signs of a huge breakout. I even made a video at the time and I said Bitcoin is about to have a legendary rally. At the time, we were at maybe 3,500-ish. Bitcoin subsequently rallied pretty quickly from 3,005 up to 14. People got really, really excited, but we printed a gravestone doji candle on a weekly chart, which I said this technically is a trend reversal. And what happened from 14K? We had a trend reversal. And in that trend reversal, we started holding this red line as resistance. Now, keep in mind, this is the first time in that scenario, we were in the middle of a bull and we started to hold this red line as resistance. We just looked all the way back to this 2011 area. You can't find any time in a bull run where we held the red line as resistance with months and months and months of price action, and at the same time having divergence in our lines. Now, what is divergence? Divergence is these two moving averages moving away from each other, where convergence is moving to each other. If you've heard of the MACD, moving average, convergence, divergence, whenever you have two moving averages on the chart, you want to look at how they're moving towards each other and how they're moving away from each other. And you want to study that price action and study market cycles, and these cycles repeat patterns. Again, Bitcoin leaves clues that go against the herd. At the time, we were in 2018, 2019, had an enormous run up to 14K. What did the herd start chanting? They were chanting 100K. It was a certainty within a week. Some people were saying within days. Some people were saying worst case scenario within a month. But it was a certainty. So what did Bitcoin do? It dropped clues that went against the herd. And what were the clues? Well, we started holding this red line as resistance. And for the first time ever, we started having divergence in the middle of a bull run. When you look at these lines, they're always moving with each other. Every bull run, meaning the green line and the red line are never moving away from each other. They're always moving with each other. Whenever they converge, move together, we're near a top because the red line just crosses the green at the market cycle top, at the biggest point of convergence. So when you're in the middle of a bull run and you start holding this red line as resistance, and at the same time having divergence with the green and the red line, it's a huge clue. It's a major warning sign. Now keep in mind, what did Bitcoin do? It didn't hold 1 month as resistance or even 2, it held 4. And after 4, it had a pretty large rally. It rallied from about 6.5K up to 10.5K. This is a huge move percentage-wise. It got people out of their seats and they started chanting 100K again. However, structurally, Bitcoin didn't do anything. Here's why. Whenever the structure changes, you take out the prior swing high. The prior swing high was 10.5K, months and months and months prior. Bitcoin rallied from the 6.5K up to 10.5K, did not take out the prior swing high. In fact, it was a double top. A double top technically means a trend reversal, and that's precisely what happened. We jumped from the 6.5K up to 10.5K, didn't take out this prior swing high, and rolled over and took out our prior swing low and went even lower all the way down to 3,000 something. Now, this wasn't by surprise, and a lot of people blamed it on COVID, but it was really the domino effects. That first domino was months and months and months and months earlier. We printed a gravestone doji candle on a weekly chart, signaling a trend reversal. From that point forward, we didn't touch anywhere near 14K, and it was a massive trend reversal. And then we held resistance at this red line, and then we plummeted to our death because we couldn't take out the prior swing high. Does that sound familiar? Because that's the precise scenario Bitcoin is faced with at the moment, which we're about to get into. So again, Bitcoin leaving a crumbs of clues that go against the herd. Tilt your phone to the side and subscribe. Once we recovered from this COVID crash, we technically just double bottomed, meaning we had a double bottom in December 2018, back at that $3,000 range. You remember that? And then we had that COVID crash when we double bottomed around that $3,000 range as well. Bitcoin loves to double bottom every single market. And once we do, then the true bull market really starts. At the time, we had so much bullishness because we had gone already from 3K up to 14, crashed back down to double bottom at 3K. Everyone said it was because of the COVID crash, but those people who are chartists and understand market structure and the signals that Bitcoin leaves and the cycles that Bitcoin loves to repeat, this is not a surprise. So here we were back in the bull market, and we held this red line back again as support. We dragged this red line up higher and higher and higher, and then the red line crossed the green, and we marked the market cycle top at this whatever 64-ish K, 65, 66K back in 2021. And then the whole thing repeated. We had this little fake out here where we had technically a double top. A double top is a trend reversal to the downside. We started holding this red line as resistance for a whole bunch of months in a row. And then we moved into phase one of the bull. Once again, back in 2022, in the start of 2023, we said loud and clear in video after video after video after video, it's highly likely the bottom is in. You should be buying at 15K, 16K. It's highly likely we're about to start a bull. It's highly likely that that's about to start in January 2023. We made all of these calls, all of these predictions, not with a crystal ball, not with our coin flip or fingers crossed. It was just based on pure facts. What ended up happening? January 2023 was the start of the bull. We moved into phase one, and we started holding this red line as support. Now, Bitcoin dropped a couple clues. Back in August of 2023, we had a little bit of trouble with this red line. And then Bitcoin recovered. That was at the very tail end of phase one of the bull. We recovered, we subsequently rallied, and we dragged this red line back closer and closer and closer towards this green line. And at the time now, we're in the late stages of 2023, in the early stages of 2024. Now, in the early stages of 24, the price action got so bullish that the price action actually went up to the green line. Keep in mind, the last time we had gone up to the green line in that fashion was that 14K top. Keep in mind that 14K top back in 2019 was the point where we started reversing and holding this red line as resistance. What did we do this time? Well, price action rallied up to the green. It started holding this red line as resistance, And here we are today. Not only have we been holding for several months as resistance, and we've had, some candles kind of in between, we've had wicks up, we've had wicks down, but no matter how you cut it, Bitcoin has had trouble with this red line. That's not up for debate. What is also highly important is the curvature of this red line and the divergence we are creating. In other words, the mouth of the green line and the red line in the middle of a bull run should be close together. They should be running in tandem as the bull run progresses, but instead they're running away from each other, completely away from each other. Something that we've only seen one other time, and that's right before the COVID crash, right? Several months before the COVID crash, we started showing these signs. And that's what we're doing today. Now, are we going to have some other type of COVID event? Nobody knows. But what we do know is that Bitcoin has only done this type of action one other time. Now, when you look at the high majority of people, study what they're doing, study what they're saying, and try to figure out the facts in the charts. And are the facts in the charts going against the herd, or are they going with the herd? If they're going with the herd, you should run. If they're going against the herd, you're probably on to something big. Now, you never want to bet your net worth on some guess that you think the facts in the charts are showing. Again, if you're in Bitcoin for the long term, you should be buying every dip. But I would say maybe 0.05% of the people that watch my videos have that mindset. It's very rare. Most people are like, oh my God, I want to get rich by tomorrow and I can get my Lambo on the next day. And I just want to use Bitcoin to get filthy rich. And they get so greedy, their ego gets so big, they get destroyed. In other words, what I want you to do right now is pay attention to this as we progress with the pi cycle top indicator in the divergence we're seeing in the yellow line and the green line and the red line. This is something incredibly noteworthy. This could be a huge clue. This could be a big breadcrumb that Bitcoin is dropping right before our eyes, which really would take the world by surprise. Nobody would guess that Bitcoin would have some type of COVID crash event happening again. Now, am I saying it's going to be a COVID type event? No, I'm just saying COVID type price action. And it wouldn't be just in crypto. It would be worldwide. It would be in the stock market. It would be in bonds. It would be in ETF. It would be in every sector of the market would see some type of dramatic effect. This could be major, or this could be a hidden clue from Bitcoin that maybe this is one of the first times in history where we show this and then skyrocket in price. Nobody knows, but pay attention to the clues that Bitcoin leaves from this point forward and follow the facts in the charts. Men lie, women lie, the charts don't lie. Hit that subscribe button. By the way, one of the most important quotes in trading is if you give a man a fish, he can eat for a day. If you teach a man to fish, he can feed himself and his family for his entire life. This is important because a lot of folks out there just want one fish at a time. They want to eat for today. They want one trade alert. They want another trade alert. They don't want to learn how to do it themselves. If you look around at the most successful traders, they learned how to fish for themselves so they can feed themselves and their family for their entire life. This is what holds true more than anything else in trading. This is what my courses are based on. My courses are what I'm best known for. My courses are not the FFA. My courses are not the indicator bundle. My courses are what I'm actually best known for. It takes my 25 years of experience and condenses it down into the most powerful courses in the crypto markets. I've gotten a lot of messages recently about my courses because I haven't had them on sale for more than a year. In the meantime, you can go to cryptocrewuniversity.com and read about them. They are the most game-changing thing I've ever created in my entire life. This bull run is our road to 500,000 subscribers, but I need your help. Today, tell one person about our YouTube channel. how we spit facts, go against the herd, take no paid sponsorships of any kind. Road to $500,000, let's go.